know we were never married. We were never married. We never shared the bedroom for one day. The only time you will invite me to your bedroom is when you want us to have a child. So what is this crying? I've been quiet.
Yes, so my correct, loving and wonderful people, you guys are welcome back to this channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on when my video get to you and depending on the locations that you are also. No be smarting or no be smarting at all. Finally, Daddy Free's wife has spoken. She have decided to tell us the truth about the whole situations. We all remembered how it happened that Daddy Freeze was dragged to court by Benedicta ex-husband, that Daddy Freeze has stolen his wife. And at the end of the appeal court's issue, Daddy Freeze was ordered to pay 5 million naira to Benedicta ex-husband. However, Daddy Freeze has to appeal in Supreme Court. As we speak, the matter is in Supreme Court right away. But then, his wife, his dear, lovely wife, has come out to explain how it's happened, how everything went, how she has been the one that demanded for divorce. She said so many things. Imagine a young lady married to a man, and there was no I don't even know how to put it, my correct, loving and wonderful people. She explained so many things that happened in that marriage that she couldn't and she was not able to contain those things again. She has to ask for divorce. Come to think of it, a young lady getting married to a young man and there was no atom of knacking at all. Two of them cannot stay in the same room. How can that be called marriage? That is what the lady explained. My correct, loving and wonderful people, it will be better for us to listen to her. She said so many things. Please, just calm down. I know you're using your data. Listen to her. You may learn one or two things from what she will say or what you will hear her say. Also, help us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. God bless you for doing that. Watch.
For 10 years, I was an executive nanny to my children. I wasn't your wife. I was an executive nanny. My role was to give back to children, nurture the children, take them to Disneyland every year, and show up for your cocktail dinners well dressed up, dripping in gold, looking good. That was my job. And you will showcase me, oh, this is my wife. Have you met my wife? That was my job to you for 10 years. That was my duty to you for 10 years. And when I got tired and I woke up at 32, I said, no. I want to know what it feels like to be married. I want to know what it feels like to be loved. I told you I was leaving you. And I told you that I wasn't just leaving you. That I'm going to leave you so that I can be in a better relationship. That I desire to know what it feels like to actually be married. I told you that. I desire to be married, to know what it feels like to be married. Because I was never married for one day. On paper we were married, but we were never married.
She said it, that they were not married. Though in papers they were married, but in practical terms, marriage was not existing. How can you marry a lady and you are not sleeping with that woman? She doesn't come to your bedroom. Marriage also constitutes that part of sleeping with a lady. Knacking is one of it.
Narratives to suppress known truths. You can only suppress the truth for a while, but you can never ever suppress it forever. You can never suppress the truth forever, especially when there are documented facts. When there are evidence in papers, in video recordings, in text messages, you can't suppress the truth forever. You can only try to suppress it for a while to a gullible set of people.
So, like I said, I am not here to explain anything to anyone other than the fact that the adultery tag on my forehead is not the reason why I filed for a divorce. I filed for a divorce. I filed from my ex based on different
orientation. He's still alive. He has messages. There are evidence. There are letters. At any point in time, the Supreme Court can subpoena MTN. Oh yes, they can subpoena MTN and bring forward text messages. If need be, that can be done in court. So, I am not worried about all those things, but I am more concerned about women that think that because they are going through divorce. It's like saying presently, if you, Eduche, should decide that she wants to start dating, she is committing adultery, right? Legally, they will say, Mayu Edochie is committing adultery because her divorce is not yet final. But is she still practically married to you? The answer is no, they are not, right? So any woman that files for a divorce and decides to start dating is an adulteress. But any man that files for a divorce can go ahead and remarry even before that divorce is finalized. Men can remarry even without filing for a divorce from their ex-wives. Men can remarry even without asking permission from their wives. But women cannot date after filing for a divorce. That is the country we live in. And that is why I am doing this live. You see, this narrative has to change. This narrative has to change. Women are not slaves. When a woman files for a divorce from a man, she's no longer married to that man. And the divorce is taking years to happen. If that woman should find love, she has every right to be happy in that relationship. And if that comes with a price tag of being called an adulteress, wear the adulteress tag with a crown. Wear it boldly with a crown. I'd rather be called an adulteress for filing for a divorce, moving on with my life as a single woman and dating, than to be in a marriage where I am cheating. We have so many married women out there that are in their marriages, but they are dating. They are in their marriages, they are having affairs, they are in their marriages, they are bringing children that do not belong to their husbands into the marriage. But guess what? They are married. It is called Lagos marriage, Abuja marriage, marriage of understanding. The man has his side chicks, the woman has her boyfriend, but they are married. I would rather, as a woman, stay 100% faithful to my husband. And the moment I feel the marriage is over, I will file for a divorce and move on with my life. And if moving on with my life after filing for a divorce gives me the tag adulteress, I will wear it with a crown. My ex is listening to this. If I were so bad, if I was such an adulteress, it is 12 years since I left you. Can you leave me and my new husband? Let us have peace. You've been going about crying for the past 12 years. They stole your wife. They stole your wife, making me look like a commodity, like a piece of furniture that has no voice. I am a human being. I am a woman. I have a voice. I am not a piece of furniture for any man to steal, to carry, to lift. This has been going on for 12 years. They stole your wife. They stole your wife. We are presently in the Supreme Court. We moved from the High Court to the Court of Appeal, and as at last month, we moved the case to the Supreme Court. Until we get justice, we are not resting on this matter. So why don't you exercise patience, be a man, and wait for the judgment from the Supreme Court instead of going to meet tabloids that have no credibility, if you ask me.
I want to believe that it is high time Nigerian courts stop victimizing the ladies. Allow them to live their life. They are just the same thing as the men are. Why are ladies being looked down on and men are being seen as kings is not the proper thing.
The judge looked at me. This was after, no, the son that was defending my ex. This was the ninth year after I had filed for a divorce. The judge asked me, she said, are you in a relationship? Are you presently in a relationship? I told the judge, yes, I am in a relationship. Presently, I am in a relationship. Presently, I have a son in my new relationship. And I said, my Lord, it has been 9 years. Actually, 11 years. 2 years of separation and 9 years of divorce. That is a total of 11 years. So, my Lord, it has been 11 years since I left my ex-husband, and I am presently in a relationship. I didn't hide it from the judge. And she looked at me and continued writing. And the son looked at me and said, my Lord, can you see? She said, and he said, you are a self-acclaimed adulteress. And I looked at the son. I said, I am not a self-acclaimed adulteress. I moved on. This is the 11th year. Are you expecting me to stay celibate? What was the ground? One of the major grounds on which I filed was because of
I was in a marriage with somebody that had a different
orientation from myself. I was being punished, and throughout the 10 years of that marriage, I was faithful. Faithful! I have an email written in his own handwriting, and I will bring it to any court, where he apologized for all the wrong he did to me in that marriage.
By so doing, the young lady is ready to say the truth, to tell us everything that is or that happened in that marriage, of which she has said it. And she is so comfortable with Daddy Freeze, even her children.
So if you're trying to distort the truth, the real truth, why I divorced you, as long as I'm alive, each time you come with your narrative, I will counter it. Each time you come with your narrative, I will remind the public that I, Benedicta, I filed for a divorce from you. It's not the other way around. I wasn't caught in an adultery. I filed because of your...
I filed. You begged. Document of you begging is still with me. And I said no. So everything you're doing is as a result of your anger, your bitterness, that you couldn't continue keeping me in that cage. For 10 years, I didn't know what it feels like to be loved. I told you I was leaving you. And I told you that I wasn't just leaving you, that I'm going to leave you so that I can be in a better relationship. That I desire to know what it feels like to actually be married. I told you that. I desire to be married, to know what it feels like to be married. Because I was never married for one day. On paper, we were married, but we were never married. You know we were never married. We were never married. We never shared the bedroom for one day. The only time you will invite me to your bedroom is when you want us to have a child. So what is this crying? I've been quiet 12 years, crying. I remembered my oldest daughter asking me, after she came back from her friend's house, I think she was 10. She came back, she said, Mommy, I went to visit my friend. And I noticed that her daddy and her mommy, they sleep in the same room. They sleep on the bed. Mommy, how come you don't sleep in daddy's room? She's now a woman. She asked me this question nearly 12 years ago, 13 years ago, 14 years ago. I told her, I said, go and ask your father why we don't share the same room. Go and ask your dad why he doesn't allow me to sleep in his room. My kids.
My correct, loving, and wonderful people, I want to ask the question here. Why is it that in Nigeria, once the man is tired of a particular lady, he has the freedom, he has the power, he has the right to remarry? Even when the divorce is not properly taken care of or is not properly analyzed, a man can marry. But a lady who has filed a divorce and have decided to go into another relationship, it becomes a crime. Why is it happening that way? Please, somebody should help us and answer this question in the comment section. I think it is high time. Why I love what this lady did. She is trying to speak out and to encourage other ladies that everything is possible. Don't hide there and be suffering. Don't hide there and keep receiving that pains. Come out and speak out. Thanks so much for watching. Remain ever blessed. Bye.